change as we go along.
Let's see how the patch now will affect this game, because it's game number 1 on the first day of week number 6. Let's see how this goes. Looking at this, Escalera's on the chip. They have more coverage, but now let's see how this game goes with Minana Evos with their composition.
Yeah. Main difference with Perks Ziva and Spider Miles, the two roamers of Minana Evos, is that Perks Ziva is more of the traditional type of roamer. Setups, pick-offs, Chos, Kufras, Kajas, and Rubies. So expect Minana Evos' playstyle to change up a little bit more now that it's a different flavor in the roam and mid for Haze.
Well, speaking of the mid and the roam, Escalera, oh, he's just manning up to Kaizen and Perks Ziva with this.
Yeah.
Okay, is he going to be able to get away? Okay, he has to flicker out. That's going to be burned, but trying to be a nuisance here the best he can. The other thing, too, is obviously Kaizen this time did go with that support emblem. We've seen the changes here that Fredrin likes to go with, the adaptability, but even first item-wise, you can see some of the rushing already happening.
Yeah, and you see there just how quickly the Synchro Fission animation comes out there. Perks Ziva?
Oh, look at that. Escalera just went on to his portal and just opens up. Look at how the coverage goes with this chip, man. I mean, having the pass of the region of, well, chips, he can freely roam as much as he wants to.
Yep, the Y-Walk special skill cooldown was reduced from 40 seconds to 20 seconds now. So a lot more room for him to just keep going around on those beacons.
Just imagine that, having a great amount of vision, coverage, and the first objective is up. Regardless on where Onic's priority in the laning is, having the chip on their own composition just gives him like the opportunity to, like, okay, just check on the turtle, check on the objective, and let's come from there.
Nice little setup
Meanwhile,
from Kirk.
EXP.
Okay, so all before the turtle. Gem gonna jump in though. Kirk could be in trouble here. Dragon forms out of there, survives with an HP. Oh no! Gem gets him. So first blood drawn here from Gem. Now for the fight for the turtle. Eternal Guard already gonna be dropped down. 2 versions of them at that. Kaizen's gonna be able to get the turtle. The fight's gonna break out though. Perks even trying there. Kaizen can't get out. Kelra will get that kill. So Onic doing some trading here, but happy to be on the board.
Wow, okay, so you saw there the power of the chip on the side of Onic. And Onic with a little bit of adjustment on their decision making there. Yes, King Kong tried to go for the Retribution battle win, but Onic readjusted their positioning and entry so that they can go for the counter punish if ever Onic would lose that turtle fight.
Well, it's hammer time for Gem. He holds a 100% win rate as the Terizla in 6 games. Wow. Clean.
He is the body of Smith.
Yeah.
The body of Gem.
He embodies it perfectly for Onic. Onic Philippines, having that game-playing capability of the Terizla changed a lot of the dynamics, especially with this. Escalera receiving a lot of fun. That is the Harith that you're talking about, Renmar.
Yep. Power of the changes to the Harith, man. He hurts. But I like these adjustments by Minana Evos, so from time to time, they're doing what they can to get a bit of resources away from King Kong.
That's what they kind of got to do, right? Set the pace if they can here. Onic, even with a couple kills they have, economically it's still pretty even. So Kaizen showing it this side of the jungle. Now Perks Ziva going to get dragged. Has to flicker out. Gem not going to land the connection he was looking for. But to the backside, Kirk going to go find the target with the Petrify. Super Friend's going to be in trouble. Gem's going to want to fall though. Meanwhile, another kill brought on through, and that's Escalera falling as well. King Kong on the run. So Minana Evos striking fast here.
What an ultimate counter up against this chip. They waited for them to react right away, and they completely turned everything around for Onic Philippines. They waited to overload them from the moment they started that portal.
Yeah, Minana Evos, good decision to fight that out. Once they saw Onic, especially Gem, missed the penalty zone, and Onic already used a good amount of their ability. Super Friends already used the ultimate of the Ruby that he stole away. Good decision to fight it out. Again, this is what you get when you have Fredrin in the jungle. Those little moments where if that was an assassin jungle, I don't think Minana Evos would have taken that fight. Since they're rocking with a Fredrin, hell yeah, you're going to take that fight.
Still the guy. Yeah, he sees himself still a worthy pick of this. Kaizen, the Fredrin up just on time with that purple to show up. And this is the problem now. If they keep on answering to those teams, if Chip or Escalera spots a position for Minana Evos to even take against them, they actually still can wait because there's an open window to actually counter everything out in Onic Philippines. And you were mentioning about the overload of the ultimates that Valentina can do. I think Minana is slowly getting the pattern here on how they can overload Onic Philippines.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier. When you're going up against a chip, it's dishonest, but then at the same time, the objective fights, you know what's going to happen. You know what you're waiting for there. So Minana Evos are just adjusting their positioning in the team fights just a little bit.
I think that's why it's so important, too, for Kirk. King Kong going to get hooked down a little bit here, but for Kirk, a lot of his entries, at least so far this early on, has been pretty good. So that'd be part of it. And now we're at the stalemate.
Yep.
That's a Necklace of Durance, a priority build by Super Prince.
Meanwhile, they're trying to force out something from Escalera.
He rushed that the first item.
Yeah.
Picked that up.
I think he realized like the lineup that he's up against. Yeah, they're really tanky, guys. We need to lower their regen and their healing just a little bit. I'm not knocking it. I am quite surprised though, because usually we'd see a more painful or higher damage dealing item, magic power item there as your first build.
I think that's one thing they want to capitalize on since they have so much like advantage on poke, catch, even penalty zones. So this is the problem if they want to go up against with Onic Philippines, or even Onic Philippines wants to bounce back from this, because I think that those are the moments that they need to be careful of, just in case somebody gets forced out, especially with a huge objective. We're seeing 2 Purifies from Super Prince and Kelra because of the crowd control threat that they can get from Perxiva and as well as for Kirk. You've mentioned about this Harith. You know, hold that.
Escalera, there's the shortcut. Everybody going to be able to show up for this one. But Escalera does fall. Perxiva, the next target, as Kelra is able to get him now. Under the turret they go as Hayes falls as well. But King Kong's taken out. It's still going to be a bloodbath around the purple buff. Trying to get out with their lives, but it's too much. Kelra jumping in, but he will fall with Super Prince next, and Kirk able to survive it all.
Minana Evos, again, you just wait for the chip portal. Onic, it looked really good for them as Hayes fell down. I was wondering, why is Kirk spending so much time just flying in the air? But he eventually made the most of a good petrified combo, and he was one of the last ones standing there. Meanwhile, as all of that was happening, Minana Evos' Domeng was split pushing in the bottom lane. So that's a massive win for Minana Evos all throughout. I just have to say, again, this is the power that you get with Fredrin in the jungle with your team.
Yeah, referencing the gold right now, it's slowly being painted as blue. Now with the waves and the push Minana Evos, that slowly they're trying to gain control of the macro play. But hold that, portal open.
Escalera taking quite a bit of damage. Will flicker out. Domeng though goes in with his own, and now looking for more into the Zaman Force gem. Can't withstand the damage. It's a double.
You can be way more aggressive now as a Harith, and look what that man did. Flicker forward, and then just Synchro Fission full-on Zaman Force combo. That's only 2 items on this Harith right now. Almost a 2,000 gold lead over Kelra! Kaizen, my god!
The bonk.
We got bonked.
It's, hey, Fredrin, nothing changes. Still going to be priority.
Yeah, there's 3 sure things in life. Death, taxes, and Fredrin's position in the MLBB meta.
A thing to worry about. Right on point, but as Onic looking for a way to get objectives, King Kong slowly wanted to push up top. But this is the problem now with this kind of taunt, with the kind of stacks that Minana Evos is doing up against Onic Philippines. They're completely overloading anything up against them right now. And this is the problem. They're putting him in a situation that they need to gather around for objectives and as well as pushes. But this is the problem with having Kirk as well. They have so much control with micro plays against Onic Philippines too.
Yeah, and again, if you just look at the principle here, it's a full dive comp on the side of Onic versus a comp from Minana Evos that, as much as possible, would try to protect one, which is Hayes' Vexana, and it's Kaizen actually stealing an orange buff away from Onic there. Again, look at the goal difference between the Phoveus and the Harith. Onic's going to be playing defense for a very long time here. The problem is their wave clear, very risky.
Yeah, I think it's the commitment that this composition can do up against Minana Evos. With the lead that they have right now, they would be forced to take some small risky plays such as this.
Escalera not going to see the light of day here, taken out in an instant. Going to get cut off. He saw the dragon. He's like, you know what? I'm done for. So down a member. This is a clear green signal for Minana Evos to take this first Lord here uncontested.
Another objective freely taken by Minana Evos. Despite of what's happening against Onic Philippines right now, the commitment that they want to do, they still need to be input on how to counter even Minana Evos. Who are you actually going to target here? Doming has got any non-deaths as of this moment, even for Kazin. Yeah. So this is a big of a problem. How to even maintain or sustain the front line of Minana Evos for Onic Philippines?
It's tough, really, that even if you get Haze or Doming down, you still have another damage option available. Upraizer's Wrath is also up there to swing fights for Minana Evos. Kirk on the Yuzong being able to deal the damage that he did. It's just that Yuzong last pick, dare I say, really helped Minana Evos win this draft out. Because now, with the timing especially of Kirk maximizing what he can get from the Petrify, the combos that he can dish out, Onic don't have the damage to take key targets down fast enough.
That's the question. How can they get a key target out of Minana Evos? Lord is being pushed down bottom. They want to take this turret out of Onic Philippines' hands. Everybody's maintaining safe distance. The threat of Brickseaver right now, and everybody of Minana Evos' lead that they have, they're just sweeping everything clean out of Onic Philippines' camp. And this is the problem. How can even King Kong bounce back from this, despite having the coverage of the map with the presence of the chip? Now the real-time win rate is leaning towards Minana Evos.
This, for me, has to be one of the cleaner games we've seen from Minana Evos.
Yeah.
Everything has really fallen into place here, and that early execution that they pulled this lineup off just played perfectly and allowed them to get to this point where they're now 7,000 gold ahead against Onic, who has, again, we've been touting them as the super family, the super team of this season so far. They're struggling here. And maybe that was, okay, you know what? Maybe it's the matchup in the jungle. It makes things a little bit tough because King Kong can't really have the space that he wants to work around against a Fredrin. And they just aren't able to really utilize even the chip because, hey, you pop the shortcut, everybody shows up. You're pretty much into a economic loss. The firepower just is not there. So for Onic, it's really now about time. It's the whole thing once again with Onic time. They need time here. They need 5+ minutes at that to withstand this game, and we'll see if Minana Evos even lets them. By the time this next Lord push comes through, if they secure it in 30 seconds, it might be better if Onic just lets them take it. I don't think even if they try to contest it, they would win that battle at all here.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes in life it's okay to just let others take what's not meant for you.
Yes.
I think that's
right?
true.
Right?
That's really true.
Life advice.
Because if you like fight for something way too hard that you know that isn't for you at that moment, then you're just gonna get like, yeah.
This is a whole new Renmar.
I know.
I'm loving it. Like,
I've grown.
You've grown.
Yeah.
I think that's the destiny that Onic wants to see. Like, will they commit and will they even to accept the fate of just winning or losing? Because if they can have time on their side, if they have the ultimate of the Ruby, they have Gem with the penalty zone. The question is, where can they land this? Because I think Escalera right now is being cautious on where to even have a good placement of the portal.
Oh, let's see. Conceal. Oh, Perk's not going to be able to land it.
Oh, brother.
Gem, though, going to jump in with the penalty zone, and now Escalera on the backside, pushing him further. Gem's still going to be alive for a little bit longer, but finally taken out. Kelra jumps in with a demonic force of fighting in the Zaman forest. It's a force for force battle as Super Prince falls, and no one can keep going but Domang and the rest of Minana Evos. And now King Kong, left alone in his jungle, retreats against a full force of Minana Evos. And left alone, Domang jumps in once again, takes him down, and that will be game number 1, going over to Minana Evos.